Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Saints were back on the practice field today on Tuesday for a 3-day mini camp. You can tell the spring, everything is just building toward this summer whenever they'll hit the practice field for training camp in late July, then preseason, then, of course, the season. Dennis Allen had this to say about the first day of mini camp.
Good day today. Had everybody out here. Got some good work, some good, 2-minute work. So, again, this is just part of the process of us getting better as a football team. And guys are out here working and grinding, and we got a long way to go, but like the direction we're headed.
One of the really interesting things that happened today is Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill was out there throwing passes, working with the quarterbacks. So what gives with Taysom Hill working with both tight ends and quarterbacks?
Yeah, look, I mean, that's kind of been his role since he's been here, and we're going to utilize him in a lot of different roles. He's a weapon offensively for us that can do a lot of different things, and so, our thought is to get him involved in a lot of different areas.
I am perfectly fine with getting Taysom Hill involved in a lot of different areas. And yes, he has utilized a lot of roles. And last year, whenever there was this idea that Taysom Hill was just going to be a tight end, one of the things that we said repeatedly here was you can call him whatever you want to call him. You can call him a tight end. You can call him an H-back. You can call him a fullback. You can call him a punter. I don't care what you call him. What we knew Taysom Hill was going to do was still fill the Taysom Hill role, which he did. He lined up as a punter, but he ran the ball. He lined up in that wildcat formation. He's done that and is going to continue to do that for as long as he plays for the New Orleans Saints. That's why they paid him. The contract they gave him was incentivized to where if he did in fact become a quarterback, which he's never going to be, and we know that. But it is still odd, though, to see Taysom Hill working out with the quarterbacks at practice. Now, for whatever it is worth, in the 16 games that he played a year ago, he had 9 receptions, and I'm looking for his rushing attempts, 96 rushing attempts. He is going to be far more of a runner than he is going to be a pass catcher or certainly a passer. So if you got that trick in your bag that you want to dial up every now and again, you can have it, but understand Taysom Hill is not going to be a quarterback. Rashid Sheheed has a growing issue. He wasn't available. That's really all that they said. Not serious, though. Marshawn Lattimore, who was not there for parts of OTAs, was there today for minicamp, and that was fantastic to see. Here was Dennis Allen on his starting cornerback.
Yeah, the expectation is for him to perform at an elite level. He's got that ability, and so that's our expectation. I think you ask anybody out here, we need him to perform at an elite level to be the type of defense that we can be, and so I think that's our expectation of him. I think that's his expectation of himself.
Look, the conversation about Kamara is so interesting. About Lattimore is so interesting because a year ago the expectation was that Lattimore was going to get suspended, and that suspension never came. But throughout camp, we were talking about how Lattimore maybe being suspended. There were injury issues, and then they traded Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and we're all looking around going, what in the world? Who is going to play? And ultimately, Paulson Adebo was the star of camp. Now, he got injured early in the season. They drafted Alontae Taylor, who had a great rookie year, and Lattimore missed half the season due to injury, but was never suspended. So I'm going to be fascinated to watch this secondary. If you have a healthy Lattimore, if you have a healthy Adebo, if Alontae Taylor continues his progression, if your starting safeties and Tyrann Mathieu and Marcus May, are both healthy and play the entire of the season. Tyrann did. Marcus May missed time last year. But Marcus May is also a guy who's facing some off-the-field issues that could come with discipline. That secondary could be fantastic if they're healthy and available. But the giant question is if they're healthy and available. And then the other part of that clearly is Alvin Kamara, who we just all know the situation with Alvin Kamara. He could miss 6 games. They signed a running back. They drafted a running back. His days in New Orleans appear to be numbered, but he's still under contract and still feels like he's got a lot to prove. Dennis Allen was asked if this whole situation with Kamara, meaning signing Jamal Williams, drafting Kendre Miller, the possibility, all the legal situation going around, that if it's affected Kamara's play at all. Here's what he said.
No, I really haven't. I think, one of the great things about professional athletes is when they step in between the white lines, they're able to compartmentalize and focus on the task at hand. And I think he's done a great job of, every time he comes out here to practice or play in a game, he's focused on the task at hand.
But similarly, if you're in New Orleans, you've got a plan for what feels like an inevitability of being without Alvin Kamara for at least 6 games this year. Here's what Dennis Allen has to say about the plan without Alvin Kamara.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We've got thoughts and ideas in our mind in terms of how we react to whatever we're dealing with. And so we're not going to worry too much about a lot of things that we don't really control. We're going to focus on getting better as a football team, and we'll adjust however need be.
And we'll give you one more, and this is what Derek Carr had to say about working with Alvin Kamara.
What a great guy. I just absolutely love him. Great teammate, great energy about him, and very explosive. He's so smooth on film. You really just don't know how good he is. Obviously you see the film, but then when you get in person, he ran a couple routes. I remember I looked at Jake today and I was like, bro, that's not normal, And you just feel his presence when he's on the field. We were able to hit him on a couple little routes and things like that and see him move. And, I think just being around him just for a little bit, in the building, people don't really know how smart he is at football. What he knows where to see, he knows what route to run, he knows where to get, he knows how to use his help. And, that combined with his athletic ability, you see why now he's had all that production. And so, we've been talking, the whole time, but it was cool to see him in person.
Derek Carr says all the right things. You could tell he's a savvy veteran. He's a great leader, and guys are going to rally behind him. Can he lead this team where we all hope they can go? That process is beginning now with the on-field work. Minicamp this week, 3-day minicamp, and we're steamrolling toward this summer when they report for training camp. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.